we've got 2 paths now. So was that the end of chapter 1? Maybe. Let's continue with Tetsuo's. Sorting things out. Hajime Yoshimi's death, Nejima's threat of mass murder, the problems just pile up, putting the detective's goal of collecting all the curse stones in jeopardy. Tatsumi leaves Erio to handle the investigation while he catches a quick break. Alright, it's morning. Okay, so we do know that once it's daytime, the curse stones do lose a bit of power, but it was never like explicitly stated that you can't kill anyone with the powers still. So I wonder if anyone will be able to use their curses. I wonder if anyone will use their curses. Sorry for the wait, boss, but I managed to gather some information. Took you long enough. Let's inspect. He's been up all night gathering information. Must be nice to be young and have that kind of energy, but I'm glad to have him on my side. Gave me a chance to rest up. Forensic has finished their investigation and the body's been carried away. That said, we're still closing the park to the public, at least for the time being. This place was really giving me the creeps last night, but it looks pretty normal now with the sun out. Anything else to inspect? Oh hey, it's a bird! So they are available outside of Harue's stories. I thought it was a blood stain. Anything up here? Okay, that's as far as I can go. So let's talk. Things at the station were pretty hectic, but I managed to get some info. Let me fill you in. Thanks. The floor's yours. The serial killings. A total of 3 mysterious deaths were confirmed in the area, including the one in this park. So let's start with that one. The young man we found here. He's been identified as Shogo Okie, 25 years old, a regular old office worker who worked around here. He died of asphyxiation due to water in the lungs. He drowned. He drowned? In the middle of the park? That's not possible. It's gotta be a curse we're dealing with here. About that, boss. Isn't this park associated with one of those 7 mysteries too? The Whispering Canal. That's right, the Whispering Canal. It does seem like there'd be a link between a canal and death by drowning, don't you think? Oh, we know for sure there's a link between the canal and death by drowning. Sharp thinking, Erio. You're starting to get the hang of this. So, let's assume they're related. What's next? Before that, the body of a woman was found behind a residential complex in Kamizawa. Wait, what? The body of a woman. This is where the ever-burning lantern was. The victim has been identified as Tawako Hayashi, 29 years old. She was an office worker who lived on her own in the area. Okay, we don't know who that is. She's a completely new character. As for the cause of death, well... Yes. The entirety of her body was crushed by some kind of strong external force. No murder weapon was discovered in the area, but considering the way she was found, we're looking for something large, flat, and heavy that could have crushed her in one fell swoop. This sounds very suspicious. This sounds suspiciously like how Michio died. Michio? Michio. Yako's friend. Also the girl who's suspected to have kidnapped Harue's son. Because the EMTs and everyone at the police, the hospital, all of them, they thought that she fell from a really high apartment building, no? So, falling from a really high place and being crushed flat, kind of yields the same results. So let's see where this goes. So now we know there's definitely a curse bearer who can do that. But we don't know who it belongs to, and we also don't know this character. She could have been an innocent, she could have been a curse bearer herself. Hang on, are you saying she was stepped on? Meaning, wait, stepped on? Okay, that's not at all where I thought this is going. So that sounds like the foot washing mansion. So now we have the victim of, what's his face? Nirigaki? Nirigaki? What's his name? Namigaki. I was close. You can't say I wasn't. So now we have the victim of Yutaro Namigaki. And we know that he had at least one victim because Tetsuo said there were soul dregs on his stone. He also said there wasn't a lot of soul dregs on the stone, so she was an innocent. So, foot washing mansion. Exactly. Crushing is the foot washing mansion's modus operandi. The place of the body was discovered is also known to be related to the Seven Mysteries. Then, this is Namigaki's doing. Knew it! Shit. I knew he'd used it. Judging by the amount of soul dregs, the victim was just a regular person, not a curse bearer. Knew it! Nailed it! Pack it up, boys. We're out of here. Guess we should report this to Paranormal Affairs. Got it. And as for the third victim... Where is this? The teacher? He was identified as Kohei Jonoichi, 32, a teacher at Komagata High. He was found in the school's courtyard. Cause of death appears to be external trauma from a fall or heavy blow. The impact crushed his arms and legs. Okay, now this one... Remember all that stuff I was saying before about how Michio fell from a high place and was crushed, similar to being crushed with the thing, but it ended up being foot washing mansion. Okay, so let's just bring that, we'll just pick it up and bring that over here. This could be the curse echo that killed Michio. Since he was found in the middle of a courtyard, he couldn't have fallen from the gymnasium or the main building. A teacher dying at school. And not just any school. Komagata houses one of the Seven Mysteries. Okay, so what is this one then? Which one is at Komagata High School? The Fool's Procession? But if I recall correctly, that one has nothing to do with crushing its victims, does it? This one is Yako's, so we'll check. Kills by fatal fall. Wait, it does! Yako killed the teacher! Okay, I'm just astonished right now. I think yesterday when we played through this, I read it wrong, and so I didn't really process how the kill is done. So, she makes her victims fall. Okay. And just to confirm, this is at Komagara? Yes. The Fool's Procession. Right, it's where the Fool's Procession is supposed to be. It's too big of a coincidence. Well, so far we are 3 for 3 of curse bearers who we know. We can't rule out the possibility that this death was also the work of a curse. I see. Either way, it seems all 3 victims can be tied to the 7 mysteries. There's probably a curse bearer at the center of it all, pulling the strings. But you've got a point. All these strange deaths do point in one direction. That's right. And Hajime's case wasn't all that different either. He also died of mysterious causes in a place connected to the 7 mysteries. Problem is that the timing doesn't match up. He died before the curses were activated. Could he have been hit by a different curse? One that didn't have anything to do with the 7 mysteries? That's a thought, but if that were the case, we'd be dealing with a powerful practitioner. One who could pull off a curse like that without using a curse stone. There aren't many people in this day and age who could do something like that. Oh, really? I see. I don't know too much about that stuff. I'd be more surprised if you did. So we know a couple of people with strong spirit sense. We know Yoko, and we know Mio, who is Yako's friend in Komagara High. Yako has a lot of friends. Okay, let's look around and inspect. We still can't inspect. Okay, never mind. Let's think about stuff. Think about this situation. Well, we got ourselves quite the mess. Strange deaths popping up all over the place that may or may not have something to do with curses. We also need to keep looking into Yoshimi and Nejima. For now, we'd better start following up on the few leads we've got. Guess I'd better see what Erio's found out. Alright, tell us about the next thing. Oh, you still got info on the serial killings. Well, looking at these deaths, it seems like many of the curse bearers acted last night. But we can't rule out that there are more killings from which the bodies haven't been found. Yikes, I hadn't thought of that. But there is one silver lining. Judging by my own curse stone, it seems that the curses can't be activated while the sun's out. Oh, okay. Well, here's our confirmation that they can't be activated at all. Maybe unless you have strong spirit sense. Oh, that's great news. So, basically, we're safe during the daytime. Exactly. It's also likely why Nejima gave us till dusk. Ah, he must have known the curse stones couldn't be used during the day. Either way, we got till nightfall to settle this. It's time we flushed out the other curse bearers. Aye aye, boss. Let's do this. About the curse bearers. At the moment, we only know the identity of 4 curse bearers. you included. Yutaro Namagaki had the foot-washing mansion, and Hideki Araishi had the ever-burning lantern. We've got both of their curse stones. And then there's Nejima, who claims he has the one-sided reed. Yeah, that about sums it up. Ooh. Notes on known curse bearers. So, they do not know about Yako, and they do not know about Harue. But we do. We do. So we're missing 3. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. Okay. And then I'm just gonna click this. Because why not? We'd better figure out who the remaining 5 are, quick. How should we go about looking for them? There's no point in searching blindly without a lead. Let's focus on other things for now. Tracking down Nejima may lead us to the other curse bearers, too. Either way, he should be our top priority. He could do some real damage if we don't get him. I also want to look a little more into Yoshimi. I've got a feeling there's some connection there. Aye aye, boss. Sounds like we've got our work cut out for us. I wonder if they sent any cops to arrest Namagaki? They did say they were gonna do that, but it sounds like they forgot. About Hajime. I asked around Sumida Community Safety Bureau, where Yoshimi was stationed. It seems like he was investigating the apparent suicide of a girl named Michio Shiraishi. Yeah, I heard about that. He was trying to determine whether it was really a suicide. Looking into the height of the building, the force of the impact, her wounds, all that. He must have suspected some kind of foul play, because he ordered a full investigation. But it had already been deemed a suicide, and his superiors told him not to go stirring things up. Huh. What was the evidence? Well, according to the report I found on his desk last night, the body was found at the foot of a building, a ways away from the road. There was no evidence of vehicular collision, so it was ruled a suicide. But he thought there was more to it? Yes. A truck or other flat-faced vehicle traveling at high speeds could have inflicted similar damage. In other words, sometimes a traffic accident can look an awful light. Sometimes a oh man. In other words, sometimes a traffic accident can look an awful lot like a fall. So, there is a chance it wasn't a suicide. What a terrible way to go. There were no brake marks on the road, meaning it would have been a hit and run. The vehicle would have hit her without slowing down at all. This is turning into quite the grisly scene. What about, like, all the blood and everything, though? But the vehicle couldn't have come out from a collision like that unscathed. Exactly, so I asked the traffic bureau to keep an eye out for vehicles with frontal damage. But I haven't heard back from them yet. I don't think they're looking very hard. So we've got no proof. That said, if it was a traffic accident, rather than a suicide, it's possible that someone silenced Yoshimi because he was on the verge of discovering the truth. That's true. You think the driver is the one who did him in? Not quite. Yoshimi had already talked to Forensic and the Traffic Bureau, right? his death wouldn't have covered things up. You're right on that. He's right on a lot of things. Even if the suicide was a cover-up for a hit and run, it doesn't seem like enough reason to kill a cop. Oh, that's right. Unrelated, but I got something else too. I managed to get a hold of Michio Shiraishi's address. Yoshimi went there a bunch over the course of his investigation. Might be a good idea for us to drop by too. Good thinking. Hopefully that'll give us some more leads. All right, let's move on to the next topic. But you still have more to say about Hajime. Remember the girl Yoshimi met the day he died? One Hitomi Okuda. Community Safety didn't have any contact information for her on hand. Not even an address? Well, they had her parents' information, but when I called, they said they hadn't heard from her in a month. Lots of family issues from the sound of it. They even said they didn't want anything to do with her anymore. That said, she still goes to school once in a while, so we might be able to find her there. Oh, is she the delinquent who goes to Komagata High? Not sure we really have the time for a stakeout right now. But she could be a key witness. Can't we have Community Safety track her down for us? We can ask, but it might be tricky to get it done today. For starters, Komagata High is closed. Because of the teacher that died? That's right. Alright, but if it's not something we can do today, we may have to forget about it. Let's move on then. I got some information about Yoshimi's fiancée from Community Safety. Her name is Mayu Chozawa, 27 years old. She works as a beautician in the area. Why is this highlighted? Like, normally it's the name, isn't it? Something must sound fishy about this part. Look, I even managed to get a picture of her. She sure is a beauty. Is it Ayame? But... oh boy, here it comes. But what? Community Safety hasn't been able to contact her since Yoshimi died. Not by phone or at her house. In other words, no response. Dead silence. There it is. Can't things just be easy for once? It's not Ayame. Mayu Tozawa, female beautician. Mayu is a beautician and the fiancé of Hajime Yoshimi, a police officer with the Sumida Police Department. Mayu's current whereabouts remain unknown. It's definitely starting to look suspect. Crime of passion, perhaps? It is fairly common for people to be killed by a lover or a spouse, but Yoshimi was well liked and they'd been together for over 10 years. Since they were 16? Or 17? You never know. Things could be different behind closed doors. I guess so. But we'll have to consider the opposite scenario too. It could be that the same person who is out for Yoshimi is after his fiancée as well. She could be in danger. You're right. Either way, she's important to the case. HQ already has people looking for her. We'll know as soon as she's found. Fumechika Najima. Psycho killer. Qu'est-ce que c'est? HQ has mobilized a search unit for Nejima. But so far we haven't received any word. Guessing he wasn't at home or work. About that, apparently he vacated his last known address a week ago. You serious? So we have no idea where he lives. It gets worse. I checked in with the factory he was working at. They told me he was only there for a month before he quit. Hold on a second. You're telling me nobody caught that? Well, I had the same thought, so I spoke to his probation officer. Turns out he'd been doing house visits and interviews, but never bothered checking on his workplace. He also said he'd lost track of Nejima when he moved to a new place. Jeez, that's just sloppy. I've heard that they're giving parole to just about anyone these days, because they're running out of room in the prisons. Which also means that there aren't enough probation officers to go around. Dude's probably overworked. So, Nejima got to fuck about unsupervised. God damn it. That asshole is annoyingly good at faking remorse. Or insanity. Whatever the situation calls for. Back when I arrested him all those years ago, just talking to him left a bad taste in my mouth. He's probably hiding under a false name, which will make it hard to track him down. That'd explain why he so brazenly made contact. That asshole is mocking us. Well, for now, the paperwork to circulate his name and mugshot is being filed. That's gonna take way too long. We only have until dusk. You know, Erio, it would have been real nice if you got us that paperwork so we know what he looks like now. And also, you know, his last known locations. Like, even though he quit his job a month ago, even though he vacated his house a week ago, like, these are still good to know informations. I mean, I don't know. Maybe when I click this, Erio is gonna be like, oh, but here, I secured the documents. Speaking of Nejima, yeah. Did you manage to reach your daughter? It'd be best to put her into protective custody as soon as possible. Not yet. I can't reach her. They called, but she's not picking up. Wasn't home when they went to the house either. That's not good. Does that mean she never came home? And why weren't you the one trying to reach her? Shut up. I don't have her contact info, all right? Damn, she really doesn't trust you, huh? Either way, I told her mother that was an emergency, and that we'd send an officer to find her and get her to custody. She was real reluctant, but I got her to agree. I guess that explains why you got divorced. But if you, her former father, can't find her, how the hell did Nejima do it? Former, huh? That cuts deep. Yikes. Sorry, it just kind of slipped out. Anyway, I suspect it has something to do with his curse echo. Back on topic already, huh? He said his curse could kill a lot of people in a short time. It may even allow him to act from a distance. I see. The one-sided read. What was that story about again? Something about a man stalking a woman who goes insane and chops her up. Ah, right. One of the more gruesome of the 7 mysteries. Sounds exactly like Nejima. As for Nejima's whereabouts, all we can do is throw more people at it till we find something. I'll check in with HQ frequently to see if they've got any updates. And that's about it. Thanks, Serio. You didn't get the documents, but, you know, good job. Shall we continue our investigation? We could go to Komogata High School to look into Hitomi Okuda, or to Michio Shiraishi's house to find out more about her. Okay, let's think about this. Now that we have all the information, what do we think, Tetsuo?
There's a lot we need to do, but not a lot we can do. This ain't looking good. We're gonna run out of time if we don't do something. Gotta keep moving.
Let's move!